you know he's going to run the ball. And you know he's going to stop the run. You know that much. But he was just talking about his philosophy, how you prepare, how you practice, how you focus, how you do strength and conditioning. That's where you win. Because we know that these are lessons that we just don't have on the football field. These are lessons that these young men are taking into life. Resilience and grit and how to work together. And in my closing remarks, I'll say, you know, I am a fan of music. And I love jazz. I play a little jazz music. Jazz comes from the blues. And blues are very much a part of our culture and our history. There's a great blues song that I love. It's called I Go By Feel. And the songwriter for that was a young blues musician who was down in Mississippi, and he was at a show, and he saw someone, an older gentleman at the show, gathering up his things after the show, and knowing that this gentleman was blind. So he went over to offer a lending hand to this gentleman as he packed up his things. And this gentleman was in his 70s. And the gentleman said, look, I really appreciate you helping or wanting to help, but you see, I have not had sight for most of my life. I have spent all of these decades learning how to go by feel. The only way I know what's real is what I feel. So thank you, but I'd rather feel my way through this. And so when we're looking at leaders, we have data, we have statistics, we have experiments, we have references, but you also have to go by feel. And that's how I work as well. In the short time that I've been around Coach Gibbs, I use that criteria. We've got the right coach at the right time for this institution. So I look forward to welcoming Coach Gibbs.
Thank you, Chancellor. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's great to be with you today. And again, I want to express my gratitude to you for coming to be with us as we begin this next chapter here in A&T Athletics. I appreciate the media for their time and attention to this matter as well, and certainly members of the Board of Trustees who are here to support this meeting. As Chancellor Martin suggested, I also want to begin my remarks by expressing my gratitude and appreciation for the Brown for his service as our football coach to he led value-based program. It was all about helping young men become contributing members of their families. I appreciate his service in that regard. As you're aware, we conducted a national search for football coaches the rest of the years ago. Gibbs emerged as one of the top candidates in that search. I've had my own Coach Gibbs for about 15 years. I've watched him grow and develop. Why he was attracted to me then and why he is attracted to me today. Why he's the right man for the job today. As has been mentioned, his head coaching experience, his former work at A&T, success we enjoyed while he was here with our program, his proven ability to identify and develop talent, his deportment, his character, the way he carries and handles himself, his experience as HBCU student athlete at the institution, also located in North Carolina, but whose name we're not going to say today. His demonstrated success recruiting North Carolina and the surrounding states. Chancellor Martin has alluded to his coaching philosophy, his teaching philosophy for our young men. His ability to develop meaningful, impactful relationships with our young men. And finally, as I mentioned, my own personal observations of his growth and development and maturity over the decade and a half that we've been associated. Now we are going to continue to build a values-based program of excellence here at A&T. Athletics plays a consequential role in that program, in that future. We will continue to graduate student athletes, continue to win championships. And Coach Gibbs, excuse me, is coming back to FCS football at an interesting time, exciting time. As the Chancellor's mentioned, we have a pending House settlement, we have a transfer portal, we have NIL. Those opportunities, expectations did not exist the last time Coach Gibbs was at A&T. The world's changed dramatically. He's stepping into that. I'm grateful for his willingness to lead in that space. I believe that A&T, we have taken bold steps in the past to position ourselves to leverage these opportunities on behalf of our student athletes. I believe that we are uniquely situated to capitalize on the existing and the anticipated developments in Division I sports. I believe we're prepared to realize exponential growth at A&T and in the athletics department. And I believe that Coach Shawn Gibbs is particularly and uniquely qualified to lead us into that future. So without any further delay, it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce to you Coach Shawn Gibbs, head coach, North Carolina A&T State University football.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm not going to put the hat on because we have a team rule where we don't wear hats in the building. So I have to lead by example. But first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for all that he has done for me and my family and all that he will continue to do. I want to thank Chancellor Martin, our AD, Mr. Earl Hilton, and the Board of Trustees for giving me this opportunity to lead the football program at the #1 HBCU in the world. All right. I want to thank my beautiful wife of 13 years, T, and my two sons, Tyler and SJ. Tyler's not here, but SJ's right there, for all the sacrifices that they've made and for understanding the sacrifices that this job requires. I want to thank my parents, starting with my mother, Nancy Poole, #1 for being a praying mother and for always lifting me up in prayer, but also for teaching me and showing me what a real work ethic looks like, and for being the most selfless person in the world. I want to thank my father, Stanley Gibbs Sr., for introducing me to the game of football at an early age, #1, and giving me the passion that I have for the game, but also for believing in me, and sometimes when I didn't even believe in myself, and for showing me what a real man is. I want to thank my siblings, my sister Stephanie, for being one of my biggest supporters and always having my back, and my older brother, Stanley Gibbs Jr., who we affectionately call Dude, for simply being my hero. I must take this time to thank all of the coaches that have impacted my life. I've had the privilege to play and work for some of the best men and coaches in the business. And I'm fortunate enough to still have a relationship with all of those guys. They're all still here with us, thank God. Starting with my high school coach, Coach Kenny Ford, my college coach, Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer, Larry Little, the coach that gave me my start in this profession in 2002, legendary coach, Coach Bill Hayes. I want to thank the coach that I have stole the most from, absolutely. And I know that I learned the most from. I worked for him for 14 years. Great man, great coach, Coach Rob Broadway. And last but not least, I want to thank the coach that coached me in college. And after college, I got a chance to be an assistant coach with him. And then I had the opportunity to work for him. Not only did he give me a lot of my confidence as a player, but he gave me a lot of my confidence as a coach. And he was the coach that pushed me to pursue becoming a head coach, and that's Coach Sam Washington. I want to say thank you to all those guys, and I love them. I'd like to take this time to thank Fort Valley State University, starting with the president, Dr. Paul Jones, all the athletic directors that I work for, Dr. Anthony Holloman, Dr. Renee Miles Payne. Is she still in here? Over there. Thank you, Dr. Payne. Wheeler Brown and Aggie, and Daphne Johnson. I also want to thank the entire Fort Valley State family for all of their support. Not only my support when I was down there, but also the support that they've shown in my transition to North Carolina A&T. Thank you for your support, thank you for your patience, and thank you for all the love. I would especially like to thank all of the coaches and players that I worked with down at Fort Valley State. Thank you for all your effort and all your sacrifices. Last but not least, I would like to thank the entire Aggie family, the AAF and all of its donors, all of the alums, all of the former players, and all of the fans. I can't tell you how it makes me feel to receive so much love. It's way too many individuals for me to thank you all, but I must take this time to thank two people in particular, Tariq Coleman and Jermaine Martin, two future A&T Hall of Famers. Tariq, I'd like to thank you for always having my back, calling me and lifting me up when I needed it, and most importantly, for always keeping it real with me. Thank you. Now, let's get down to some football. As a football coach, I have a purpose and I have a job. My purpose is to help these young men become better men. My purpose is to help these guys become great fathers, great husbands, and leaders in their community. My purpose is to help these guys graduate and become productive citizens. But I also want to make sure that these kids understand that Aggie Pride is not just something that you say. It's not just something that's in the locker room or in the dorm or hanging around campus. Aggie Pride is something that you must live each and every day. So my purpose is to make those guys understand that. I believe that in life, to be successful, you have to have your priorities in order. And in our program, our priorities are as such. Number one, God, first and foremost. Number two, your family. Number three, academic excellence. Then number four, football. We got to make sure that we keep our priorities in order, and we can't put anything before those four things. Like I said, teaching them about Aggie Pride. Aggie Pride is what's going to help these guys graduate. Aggie Pride is what's going to help these guys become great fathers, great husbands, and leaders in their community. Aggie Pride is what's going to help make those guys become great football players. And Aggie Pride is going to teach them to walk like, talk like, and act like a champion in everything that they do. That is my purpose. My job is to win football games. I understand and embrace the fact that our jobs are in the hands of 18 to 21-year-old kids. That's why we're going to work diligently to transform those 18 to 21-year-old kids into men, both on and off the field. The recipe on the field is pretty simple. And I'm pretty sure a lot of guys in here already know what that recipe is. See, what we're going to do is we're going to make chicken. That's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and give out the formula because there's too many cameras watching. We don't want it to get out there, but I do want you to know that we're going to have a disciplined football team that doesn't beat itself. We're going to play fast, and we're going to play physical. We want a confident team that's aggressive and plays with a chip on their shoulder. We got to have an edge to us, a controlled edge, but nonetheless an edge. I think it's important that we understand, both as coaches and players, we are standing on the shoulders of giants. As coaches, we must understand that our first job is to coach the entire player. We must develop relationships outside of football. Football cannot be the main reason that we're talking and developing relationships with our guys. We have to let them know that we care about them on and off the field, and it has to be genuine. As coaches, we got to understand that we're following in the footsteps of a lot of giants as well. Coach Hornsby Howe, Coach Mo Forte, Coach Bill Hayes, Coach Rob Broadway, Coach Sam Washington. And our players and recruits must understand that anything that you can do as a football player has already been done by an Aggie. First player drafted from an HBCU in 1950, Robert Stonewall Jackson. Fortunate enough, that was one of my coaches in college, an Aggie. The highest round that you can get drafted in the NFL draft is the first round. It's been done. Jermaine Stevens, an Aggie. The highest honor you can receive as an NFL player is to be elected into the NFL Hall of Fame. It's been done. Elvin Bethea. Highest honor you can have as an active NFL player is to be named an All-Pro. It's been done. Tariq Coleman. In the NFL, other than the owner, highest position you can achieve is a general manager. It's been done currently. It's being done currently with Brad Holmes. So anything that you can do it from right here at A&T. I can go on and tell you about all the greats that have walked this campus, but I would be here all day. My point is that we got to understand as coaches, when we put on the whistle, and players, when they put on the hat, you're representing all those that came before you, and you're laying a foundation and leaving your own legacy for all those that will come after. Getting us back to where we belong at the top is not going to happen overnight, but I want you to know that help is on the way. Do not get discouraged during the journey when adversity strikes. Adversity is simply part of the journey. In football, we say that when something good happens, keep playing. When something bad happens. In life, when something good happens, just keep going. In life, when something bad happens, just keep going. Understand that the only thing that's going to work is work. Our return to glory is not dependent upon one man. It's going to take everybody. Coaches, players, administration, alums, and fans. But together, we can make this work. We need to have one message throughout our program. One message, but many messengers. And that message is walk like, talk like, act like a champion in everything that we do. Thank you, and God bless. Can I get an Aggie part? Aggie part.
All right, we're going to take some time for some Q&A from our folks in the media. We'll pass around the microphone. If you have a question, just be patient so we can pass the microphone so that the folks watching online can hear your question. After we're done with the Q&A, we'll pull Coach Gibbs over here to the side for some separates with our TV media. So, questions?
Samaj Martin from Death Valley. What's in your opinion, the biggest way you've grown since your last stop here?
Well, anytime that you become a head coach, you understand that as an assistant coach, you really know nothing, right? You know nothing. So I think the biggest way that I've grown is in managing grown people. Is in managing the coaches. I think that's a big part of it. You know, we have to get all the coaches on the same page. You got to have one message and many messages within the coaching staff. So just managing the grown people is how I've grown the most. Let me take some time too before I continue, because I also want to thank somebody that's here that I didn't thank in my speech. That would be Tiffany Sykes. She was the AD at FAM, and she offered me a job, and things didn't work out. But like I told her before this started, look at God. It wasn't in the plans right there, but now look at God. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Coach Colin Avery with the Register. In the new age of the transfer portal and NIL, what was your message to the team to keep everybody, or to try to keep everybody here?
Well, that's the main challenge in the transfer portal for me. I'm not going to live in the transfer portal. We're gonna build this program on the backs of high school kids. You look over there at all those guys, they came out of high school. I think the transfers are needed. Sometimes you need somebody to plug and play, but the biggest challenge in today's game for me is gonna be keeping our guys out of the transfer portal. So I think we have to create an environment where they wanna stay here, but we also have to be competitive in the market now and be able to offer those guys some things to make it attractive for them to stay here.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day. Coach Gibbs, North Carolina A&T playing in the CAA, haven't won a conference game yet. What is it that you're going to do to get these guys to the top of the CAA, and what's your assessment of the league so far?
We're gonna make chicken. That's what we're gonna do. And for those of y'all that don't understand what making chicken is, when Coach Broadway was here, that was his saying. And he referenced KFC. If you go to KFC, back in the day, I don't know about now, I haven't been there in a long time, but you're not going there to get a quesadilla or a burger. They do chicken. And that's what we do. We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna stop the run, we're gonna protect the football, we're gonna win the kicking game. I know that the CAA is one of the premier conferences in FCS football, and we look forward to the challenge, but we're not gonna back down from anybody.
Coach, where the program is now, what made it right to come back to A&T at this moment?
This is home for me. This is home. I did graduate from North Carolina Central, but I've spent the majority of my career here at North Carolina A&T. And the relationships that I've made, I can't even tell you how much they mean to me. And this didn't just happen. The whole time I was down at Fort Valley State. Where's Pete at? He's back there. I talk to Pete probably once or twice a month since I've been down there. So it's genuine. It's nothing fake here. It's real love. And that's what Aggie Pride is about, and that's what we're going to get it back to, a family atmosphere.
Coach, have you made any decisions about your coaching staff, and you make any announcements on who will be part of that staff? And lastly, we can have a timeline of when you want to complete that process.
Okay, I can give you the timeline. We want to try to have the majority of our guys in here by the start of the new year. We have made some decisions on the coaching staff. I'm not ready to announce all of those right now, but they'll be coming out in the next few days or next few weeks. But we have some guys in place, and we retain Coach Poole and Coach Mathis. And Coach Barnett.
Hey, Coach Gibbs. I'm going to cut you off.
Hey, Tariq.
Yeah, but you used to have a little small office on the side room,
Right.
you know, and they kept you humble. Will you be moving back to the side office, or you get to the front office?
I think I'm just gonna visit the side office, but I'm gonna be in the big office.
Thank you. Coach Gibbs, welcome back. My name is Billy Mims, class of '81. And I don't expect you to elaborate on my question, but I do expect you to give a yes or no response. I think that's about all you can do. And, you know, I've been on a 4-year journey, and some of these folks know this. I have lots of concerns about our football program. And my first question to you, it is a concern, yes or no. You know, our football budget, we're number one HBCU, we are proud of that. But our football budget is last in the CAA. It's last in the CAA. Of the 16 teams, now 14 with 2 of them leaving. And don't you think that is a bit of concern for you, that our football budget, with all the resources that I think we have, is last? Is that a concern for you, yes or no?
No. It's definitely something that we have to work on to improve, but I'm a product of black colleges. My entire career since 1993, I've been in nothing but black colleges. And we've always had to find a way to be great with less. Now, we're gonna work to get everything that we need, but we're not gonna make any excuses because we have way more than a lot of people have. So we're gonna do the most with what we have. And the thing that I know that we can get is players like those guys over there. And that's what it's about. It's about players. I mean, I know the weight room and all resources and the facilities, that's nice. But on Saturdays in the fall, it comes down to 11 people on the field playing football. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out and find the best football players that we can find, and then we're gonna build from there.
Any other questions from our media?
Actually, this question is for either Chancellor Martin or Mr. Rohill. We talked about this new era. Can you just kind of just give us some understanding on why you felt the change was needed from Coach Brown? So he was on 2 years. Just give us a little bit of insight on what the thought process behind it made.
Well, let me just say, as a new chancellor, we are a forward-looking organization. It's important that we set standards of excellence. Individual cases and personnel matters we don't discuss, but we're always constantly evaluating two things. What is in the best interest of our student athletes, and what's in the best interest of North Carolina A&T? And we have to answer those questions. And those are always the most important question that we have to answer. And that's a constant evaluation. That's why we're here. And so that is the process that we always use. And then we are unified in that decision.
Well, thank everyone for coming out. We'll see if things aside for additional questions. And we'll do some mingling with some of our fans as well. Hey, Geek Pride!
Hey, Geek Pride!